welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again for a new video. I really enjoy sharing my story with different people around me, and I'm so happy that I can share my story with my voice and my smile. So please join me for another storytime video. In this video, I'll share a high-level overview of my relocation journey and some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. Over the last years, I have learned the value of sharing my own story. I am sharing my story to help women who are in the same situation or who are planning to be in the same situation, to help them and warn them of some of the things that they can expect, and also share the great experiences that we all have by living in different countries. For the longest time, I did not think my story was very special. I did not think there was anything unique about it. And as I told people my story and shared my experiences with them, they encouraged me to write them down, to share with other people, to speak about them. And as I started doing that, I started finding a lot of peace and a lot of happiness from sharing with people. So I'm so excited to be sharing my overall relocation story with you. If you want to know more, I will link to different blog posts that I've written about my relocation to help you get to know some deeper details about my relocation stories. And before we get deep into today's story, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and add all your comments and questions in the comment section below. When I was 18 months old, my mom moved back to Nigeria with my sister and I. It was a very early age. I do not remember a lot from that part of my relocation journey, but I remember a lot of my childhood in Nigeria. I write about the different things that Nigeria taught me and the foundation that I was able to build living in Nigeria, and I enjoy sharing a lot of those stories. If you ask me to highlight one thing that I valued growing up in Nigeria, it will be the food. I still like to say that my food culture is Nigerian because I like Nigerian food and I cook a lot of Nigerian food. Food and everything around food was one thing that I really valued growing up in Nigeria. We lived in Nigeria for about 14 years until secondary school, which was the equivalent to high school here. And the second step of my relocation journey started when I moved to Germany at the age of 15. I lived in Germany for a total of 14 years where I learned a lot. My journey in Germany was one of the longest. There were so many lessons that I learned because I was there during the formative years of my life. I write a lot about the different phases of my life in Germany and the journey that I went through. To be honest, my journey in Germany was far from smooth at the beginning, but it got better as years went by, and it got better before I decided to leave Germany and move to the US. My journey living in Germany did not start off smooth, but it got better with the years, and I learned so many amazing lessons. Especially in my professional life, I'm able to use some of the valuable lessons that I learned in Germany. Being punctual, being structured, having a plan, looking at things end to end is something that has really helped me, and it's a lesson that I learned in Germany. At the age of 29, I decided to make the move to the US, and people always ask me, why did you move to the US? And I always say I moved here for love, and which is very interesting because that's what I did. Which is very interesting because people expect someone like me to move for a different reason, and I'm really happy that I did make that bold step and move to the US. I have learned so many valuable lessons living here in the US. If you ask me what the number one lesson I learned in the US is, I would say it's to dream big and to chase your crazy dreams. Especially living in Germany where the culture is more realistic and more organized, it was harder for me to ever think out of the box. Moving to the US and seeing people chase whatever dreams they had helped me also go back to some of the dreams that I had and unpack them and start implementing them and making them reality. When I think about my holistic relocation journey, I ask myself, what is the biggest lesson I've learned overall, like from the 18 years that I have spent living in different countries? And I will say the biggest lesson I've learned is adapting to change. Crazily, when I started interviewing for jobs about 10 years ago, when people asked me what was your weakness, I always said, oh, my weakness is that I do not like change. And it sounded true at that point, but as I think about my journey and how often I've had to adapt to change, I now see that that's not the case. I may not like change, but I do know how to adapt to change, and I do know how to embrace change and celebrate it. Oftentimes, people ask me, how did you survive being in Germany so young? And I always tell them, I never thought about it. Like, while you're there and while you're adapting to life, there's no time for you to think about it. And I think that really helped me, because I did not spend time feeling sorry for myself. I spent time thinking about what I could do and how I could make my life better. One of the values that I have learned sharing my story is that other people are going through similar things, and other people want to hear about your experiences and what you did to be successful. So I'm on my journey of sharing my own story, and I hope you'll join me on that journey as well. Please share some of the great things that you did to adapt to your new life. Before I go, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and add your comments in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!